Welcome to Perfect Person, the show where I'm perfect. Last week I citrused a grapefruit.
What does that mean?
I zested it.
You just said citrus, though.
I did say citrus, but I meant zested.
Okay.
And I made a bunch of Negronis for a party that I had.
And they were great.
Yeah, they
And
were
you guys were
very
both there.
good.
Did you both have the house Negroni?
I did.
No, MJ told me not to get the Negroni.
Oh, are you kidding? MJ's going around town saying that the batch Negronis I made 2 months ago for Jay's birthday party are good.
I think they were good. I think she's wrong.
Well, you know, I think we got to call her up. And sort of, we're going to call her later on the show and just sort of get the 414 on what happened with the batch Negroni. But I'm joined as always by, well, not as always because he's a freelancer, but I'm joined today by Will Whitwer, freelance sidekick. Will, how's it going?
What's up?
But I'm also joined by that iconic laugh that everybody knows and loves. It's Rainie Toll, and she's here to say,
I think I'm the best. I think I'm the
off to a flaming start. Rainie, how's it going? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I truly do believe that I'm your number one fan. This podcast.
Rainie, that's very sweet.
Well, and it's nice of you to say that because I obsessively read the YouTube comments. By the way, side note, Miles, you should give me access to the YouTube channel so I can just read the comments more easily. That would be nice.
Absolutely not. But because I worry that you'd start replying.
I would no.
You're sort of going to go off.
I wouldn't do any of that.
Because unlike the, because this feels much lower stakes than the other shit that we do.
I just want to read the comments. I want to see all the new comments. But anyway, all I see in the comments is people being like, you got to have Rainie on the show. Rainie,
of course. Common request was Rainie on the show.
Probably the most common.
That's probably because, Rainie, you also work at the place we work.
Yeah. Unnamed.
Oh, we'll bleep it.
We don't need to name it.
Not a bleep. There's a bleep somewhere in the soundboard, but I'm not quite sure where it is. But yeah.
But yeah, I would say like I would say I was the number one fan, but I was thinking about it and I think I've told you this. Every Wednesday I come in and it's like I missed a Game of Thrones episode last night. Like everybody, I'm like, do not spoil this. They're like, Will said some crazy shit. Just be aware. Yeah. Be aware for the last 5 minutes.
There's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that. Will's saying some shit.
They're like, I think Will's not in the office because he's embarrassed about neck
I like
kissing.
to work from home on Wednesdays, and the running theory is that it's because I'm afraid to talk about what I've said on Perfect Person.
Rainie, you are sort of, I would say you're, is this true? You're my youngest friend. You're sort of the Gen Z reporter reporting me live what's up on TikTok.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying, like, I went to your birthday party and I was like, this is the oldest party I've been to other than like my mom's friends.
Wow. The oldest party I've been to.
Such a low-key diss. Such an unbelievable.
You had charcuterie.
We did. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you guys, you and Sarah met at a charcuterie sort of snack table, so
we did.
It's always going to be there when you guys have a party.
That's damn right. We did meet near a snack table. And
snacks are key to your relationship.
Everybody knows the story. Everybody knows the iconic love story. Well, we met at a snack table and I said, hey, you're a little snack monkey, which in retrospect is an inappropriate thing to say.
But she thought it was funny.
She thought it was funny. And it worked out.
And she related.
We're married and we're having a child.
I think the other thing that you should probably talk about is that this is the first episode in a new setting, and we haven't even addressed it.
By the way, and every time I come in and I'm like, I have a bullet list of stuff I got to talk about at the top of the episode, and I forget it almost every episode. So like the show and subscribe it, and if you like the show, you know the most helpful thing you could possibly do is to tell your friends about it and subscribe and turn on automatic downloads and/or subscribe to the channel.
Pester your friends to engage with this content.
We've gotten more, so we're moving into this new studio, right? I'm sort of like prepping for, okay, I'm gonna have a baby. Obviously, when I have a baby, I can't be like having Will come over cackling, stoned as hell, like doing a podcast episode. The baby's gonna wake up. So I was like, let's move the show into a little studio. A friend of mine had bought a house and she had a little back area open up. So we rented out this incredible little space that I'm dubbing Perfect Corp. No, I don't know. Working title.
Okay, let's workshop that. Let's workshop that.
What should we call it? What do we call the people who listen to this show as well?
I think you call them PP. Perfect persons.
Perfect person.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of think we could crowdsource the name of the fandom. But
Drop a comment below.
Yeah,
comment below or tweet at me if you're listening to the audio version. What should we call the people who listen to this show?
Yeah.
Like Perfect People kind of works, but I feel like there's a better name, and I think the fans are going to figure it out. But I would say, as far as the studio goes, you could just call it the Garage.
I was
like
thinking
Mark
about
Maron. You know, Mark Maron brings people to his garage.
Oh yeah, I would say I'm the modern day Mark Maron. I'm the Gen Z Ira Glass.
Yeah,
and I'm not Gen Z. But
and you don't do any sort of scripted podcast. This is all just like fly by the seat of your pants bullshit.
Yeah, I consider this show to be as impactful and as researched as Ira Glass's This American Life.
I agree. Didn't Ira Glass give you like a compliment?
Oh, I performed at one point comedy in front of Ira Glass.
Right.
And I was funny. And like the audience liked it. It was like I did well. And that was a big moment for me. He didn't say anything to me.
Oh, okay.
He was so ashamed.
But I'm sure he remembers it for sure.
Yeah, he probably does.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no,
No,
he's like, man, that comedy show was really good. The tall guy with the big nose he was funny. But anyway, Rainie, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, I will say the only thing that I do have a qualm with is now I'm not going to get a new episode. So I think you might have to do one just for me.
Sometimes
just you two after this, just for me.
Oh, and we'll just send that to you.
Yeah.
Direct to email.
Yeah.
Dropbox it, baby.
Dropbox the episode. But sometimes I'll re-listen to the episode and completely forget what we talked about.
I have I re-listen every week because I don't remember what I said, and then I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah. Without further ado, we've got to get to the people.
We do.
To get to the people.
Now, people have been calling in from all over the world. We've been changing hearts. We've been changing minds. We've been changing lives. And I think that we've made the world a better place. What do you think, Will?
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
What I will say is I think Rain is the ideal guest because...
Whoa.
Thank you.
Rainie is very interested in boy drama.
I always am.
I feel like we don't go an episode without a call with something like that. And Rainie is going to be dialed in. So I say let's take some calls.
Yeah, I've witnessed Rainie ask people for crazy goss that didn't exist. Rainie's like, oh my God, you guys fall in love? Like,
and they're like, no.
And they're like, no, what?
Oh, always. 100% I'm a goss hunter.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess people should know, Rainie, what makes you qualified as a perfect person to sort of change people's lives, change people's hearts, change people's minds?
Yeah.
Oh.
Obviously, we're really qualified.
Yes.
Right. That's a good question. I think what comes to mind is like, I went through middle school already.
Let's take some calls here. Okay, this is the first time I'm doing this, but I'm going to try to do the show from my phone. And if it works, I'll have revolutionized podcasting. If it doesn't work, I'm going to use my computer.
Hello?
Thank you so much for calling Perfect Person. We're about to solve your life in every way possible. Now, what's your problem that you need solving today? You're here with Miles, Rainie, and Will.
What up?
Oh my gosh, hello. This is very exciting. We actually just left a message.
Oh, you did? Well, please, we would love to have you explain it live on the air. What's going on? And what's your name, or what would you like us to refer to you as if your problem is about some sort of crime?
There's actually two of us here. I'm Abby.
Hi, Abby. Who's your friend?
This is my boyfriend, Don.
Abby and Don. And Don, it's so good to hear from you.
We love it.
Old-time lovers.
Old-time lovers.
I feel like you don't meet a lot of guys named Don these days.
Yeah, Don's a cool name. It's short for Donald or Donson.
So Don's actual name is Jong Gun. He's from Korea, but he goes by Don in America.
Oh, got it. Okay, cool. Wonderful. Well, please, what's your problem that you need solving today?
So our problem is that we were playing the game Odds Are while having dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know that game?
Yeah, we were like, odds are that the menu will have egg.
By the way, one time, this guy who was really hot, but I was dating somebody else, I went to the MFA with him, and we started playing Odds Are, and he said, odds are this is a date.
Whoa! That's kind of cool.
That's a confident
hot.
move.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I had to be like 0.
You said, because you were dating somebody else.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I didn't want, well.
He was devastated.
I think he was.
Let's call him. Can we call him on the show? Anyway, so you were playing Odds Are.
Yeah. And I said, odds are you eat this whole clove of garlic.
Yeah.
Which is really big.
Which is a huge clove of garlic. And then he lost and ate the whole clove of garlic.
Yeah, okay. I've done it. Yeah, I've been there.
And you want us to resolve this?
No, the problem is that now his breath smells absolutely horrible.
Okay.
We need advice.
Let's talk about breath.
Well, I have some hot takes on this.
Yes, Will.
Which is that I don't really care about people's breath.
You don't care?
Yeah.
A stinky bee is not going to detone you from.
Would you make out with someone with bad breath?
I mean,
you lean in and it smells like vomit.
Well,
You're not gonna...
vomit is not usually what we're talking about. I will also say, like, have you tried brushing your teeth?
Whoa.
That's a really good.
Yeah.
That's why you have him on.
Yeah.
That's why he's freelance.
I mean, hey.
That's why he's freelance, because we can't be associated with a scandal. But, you know, I will say teeth they're very sensitive. They're like, whenever I'm at the dentist and they're like, I remember I changed dentists one time because I went to one dentist and they were like, you have a really deep cavity. It's so freaking deep. And I was like, don't talk to me that way. Went to a different dentist and they were like, your teeth are so nice. We just got to get your cavity filled. And I was like, I'm going to come here every time.
Yeah.
This is, and
you
they're
want
playing,
that positive reinforcement in the dentist.
Of course. And
Yeah.
teeth are so like, it makes you feel like it's your fault. But hot take, and by the way, we're going to get to the breath thing.
We will.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. How this shows a hero's journey. We start. We're going around. We're going around. We're going around.
The wise man.
Wise man. He goes to all the taverns. The barn's closed. Have to have Jesus in the staple. And then, anyway.
Are you saying the birth of Jesus it meets Joseph Campbell's standard of the hero's journey?
Absolutely.
Okay,
He
great.
went to the inn. No shot, Jesus. Go elsewhere.
I don't think it does.
So anyway, but yeah, I just think that teeth are something that's very sensitive to everyone's sort of vibe. What? Sorry. Was that not good enough for you?
I don't know if it was. I feel so. Okay.
I'm worried about my teeth.
Oh, yeah.
I've had cavities. One year I had fucking like 9. All of a sudden, had never had a cavity before in my life. All of a sudden, they're like, "You have 9," and it made me feel like I was dying from the inside out.
What I will say, this is an admitting thing. This is like confessionals. I do brush I obviously brush my teeth, but I think it's so boring, and I hate it.
Yeah.
And I do, but sometimes I don't do it twice a day. Sometimes I only do it once a day.
I'll say this, Rainie, I'm right there with you. Yeah. Sometimes, and it's a nighttime.
Yeah.
I'm brushing my teeth every night.
Yeah.
Yeah, every night.
Sometimes in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I'll skip a lot of mornings.
I'm just like, come on. I have to get up and go. I just did this.
Okay, but we do still have Don and Abby on the phone, and I do want to just say,
yeah, you're a quick breath scheme.
So yes, have you attempted the toothbrushing? Is the breath still bad?
Yeah.
If so, because this seems like a lock and shut case to me.
Yeah, this is an open and shut.
To be fair, no, we haven't tried brushing teeth. It's been like 1 minute since this happened.
So you guys, this is a really urgent problem.
You called the fire department when you could have tried blowing out the flame.
Yeah.
You lit a match and called the fire department. It's sort of what happened here.
That's us. We're the fire department.
And we're the fire department. And I got to tell you, first of all, I don't care if people smell like garlic. I think it's fun. I think it's good.
Garlic is so healthy for you.
It's so good for you. We should all do a garlic challenge right now. I don't have any garlic here, but I wish I did.
It would burn, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the garlic challenge? Garlic enema?
You just eat a garlic raw.
Okay.
Like
I'd eat raw garlic.
Was it a clove or was it the whole thing?
Close.
Oh, that's easy. I could definitely do that.
I could do it. Apparently, it's really good for your gut health.
Yeah.
Have
like-
a pure garlic.
Yeah, like hippies at Erewhon are always like, go eat the garlic in the morning. It's like
There's
a
nothing I
natural-
love more than Erewhon.
Oh my God, me too. A fancy grosh? I cannot get enough of a fancy grocery store.
Abby and Don, do you know what Erewhon is?
No.
Erewhon is picture Whole Foods, now triple it.
Yeah.
The price, the ambiance, the lighting.
You can get like algae
And
there to eat.
the one on
Yeah.
the west side for sure is like where celebrities go. Like if you come to LA and you're like,
Yeah.
I want to see a celebrity, like go to the west side Erewhon. You'll see like Taylor Goldsmith of the band Dawes buying cereal.
You can cash Cameron Diaz buying a peanut.
I don't, a single peanut.
For $45.
For $45 happily.
Oh my God.
Couldn't be more happy.
It
about
is the best peanut you've ever had. It's just $45 for
It's just
one.
expensive.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, you guys called in. I think that it's pretty open and shut. Brush your goddamn teeth. But yeah, what else is going on? Like, I want to dive into your world a little
Yeah.
bit.
When was the last fight that you guys had?
Oh,
sorry.
my God. Rainie's
here to
doing
start a fight.
Have you seen couples counseling here? What was the last fight that you had?
I remember you were wearing glasses, and I thought you had been driving without glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. My sister and I have this fight all the time.
Is it about whether it's safe to drive without glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like raw dogging
Kind
the
of.
streets.
Is driving without glasses raw dogging the streets?
Yeah, it's like, it's let Jesus take the wheel, baby.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But counterpoint,
Yeah.
raw dogging feels good.
Is that the kind of thing that's bleeped on the show?
Yeah, that is the kind of thing that's bleeped on the show, Rainie.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I accidentally hit the cricket sound effect as well. But yeah, Will's always saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's really, and I want to apologize to Sally and Don.
Sally.
Abby.
And Don, sorry, about what Will said because it was inappropriate.
I'm just saying maybe if I'm just taking the devil to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes you don't want to see the road and you want to drive with everything's a blur.
Oh yeah.
Like-
It's Sally and Don Draper. That's why you got confused.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mad Men season 3 style. But I do. Yeah, I think you got to brush your teeth. Anyway, we got to take some more calls. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. You guys have a great night.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, we didn't need to do that one.
Well,
But you know what I'll say though? That sort of got the morale back up.
I would agree because it was like, this is an easy one.
Open and shut.
We can just easily solve this one.
We're calling someone and their number is 47. No.
Hello?
Hello and welcome to Perfect Person, the podcast where you're perfect and we're going to teach you how. I'm Miles Bonsignore. I'm here with Rainie and Will. What's your problem that you need solving today?
My name is Anthony, and I might be a little different from your normal demographic. I am a 32-year-old single dad.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Dad.
I honestly think you might be the oldest person who's successfully called into or been on the show. So
I think so.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Well, thank you. I'm glad to hold that record so far. At least I'll take it.
We'll keep a tally of that. But yeah, what's your issue?
Hey, Will, let me. What's your problem that you're calling about today?
Well, look, I'm an older dude, single dad. I want to get back out there. I want to meet somebody. I kind of want to be out and about, if you will. But I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I got responsibilities. I got kids. I got to make lunches for school. I got to drive my minivan to and fro. So it's just a little different for me. So as a man with a little bit of mileage on him, if you will, how do I get back out there and do it in an appropriate way?
Well, first of all, we're going to run that odometer back. Okay. You got some mileage on you.
Okay.
Technically, that is illegal. I just want
And technically running an odometer back's illegal, but we're not going to tell. We're not telling anybody. But I'll say that, first of all, you're 32.
I'm 31, so you keep
I'm 32,
talking.
yes.
Will's 31. My wife is 35.
You keep talking about like you're
17.
old.
But we're here to say that, like,
comparative to what you probably handle. Yeah.
generally we're
sure.
talking to people that are much younger. But, but I would say 32 is like, all my friends who are 32 are first of all, in LA, no one is getting married. I am the anomaly getting married at 28.
It's true.
No one is doing that in LA.
And I will. So yeah, I wouldn't. I think the more that you have the narrative in your head that I'm old now, it's probably going to make it harder. Like you gotta, youth is wasted on the young. I keep saying it. Young people don't appreciate what they have.
Right. You know who was a young dad?
Yeah.
Paul Rudd.
How young?
That's right. I don't know.
Like 17 or like 25?
I know some stuff, but not that much stuff.
Okay,
I think
really
he was
good.
like 25. Like he was like 25, 26.
But it's this. I mean, this is kind of a tough question. I think.
No, I don't think this is tough at all. I think first of all, your vibe is great. So
You got a great vibe.
Great vibe.
That's kind of the hardest
Thank you.
part.
Wait, who is this voice? I'm sorry. Who is this voice?
Oh, sorry.
This is Rainie. Rainie's our Gen Z correspondent.
Rainie. Oh, yes. Boots on the ground, Rainie. What's up?
That's right.
That's right.
Boots on the ground. Honestly, get
Thank
the
you so
handle,
much.
Rainie. At Boots on the Ground.
Oh, that's so funny.
That is really, really good.
That's really good. I'm changing it when we leave this.
All right. Rainie, yes. So as a Gen Z correspondent, speak to me. How do I get out there with the young folks? I've been out of the game for so long. I don't even know the lingo. So I got to make sure I'm even saying all this stuff correctly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, first of all, I think like being a dad, that's a wealth. You just have to change sort of the narrative. Narrativize your life.
Okay.
For example, this is totally separate, but it's because I'm younger. But my friend was a virgin until she was 24. And she was like, it's so hot. Like, I just tell every single guy I hook up with that I'm a virgin and that we're not going to have sex. And then it makes it really hot. I think you do the same thing with a dad. Like, yeah, you can call me daddy and it can be real.
Oh,
you know?
Okay. Wow.
Okay. Well, I don't. Yeah. Let's.
You can call me daddy and it can be real. No.
No. Reject it. We reject that. Yeah.
Actually,
we can't include that.
But I will say that I think that you're a dad. When he did say that's a wealth.
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite wise. Yeah, that is a wealth. You're like, as a dad, I'm always just sort of thinking about stuff. I'm always sort of reading books and watching a movie and that kind of stuff. And so I think that you're going to use your expertise as a dad to attract the perfect mate. Are you straight? How do you identify?
Yeah. I identify as straight, yes. Looking for the ladies, Miles. Looking for the ladies.
I think you're going to find a lovely lady.
No, I do too, but can I ask, do you co-parent with anybody? Like, or are you the full-time caretaker of your kids?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I do co-parent. We have a 50-50 custody situation, yes.
Okay,
great. Then
that's the thing is like, last summer I dated a single mom. When I say dated, I mean like she just wanted to bang around, and I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yep.
And
it's a drinking game, but every time Will brings up the single mom,
Will's bringing up the single mom all the time.
No,
by the
I
way.
am not.
He's like, I banged around with this single mom. Get it together, man.
Look,
you're like
she's
all
a nice
of
person.
it. Yeah, she's a nice person. We know she's a nice person. She must be to be around you and your crassness.
She was in this position of like for a while was like only looking for something not serious because she had bad experiences, and it sounds like you want a more serious partner, but you obviously have to sort of plan around the time when you don't have your kids. Is like when you have to do a lot of planning. Are you a planner? Like you have to sort of like this Wednesday, I could go on a date. Like you know, like, and I honestly just think dating apps are the way to go in this situation. Miles is frowning at me. He's upset.
No,
I think
no dating apps.
No,
on the dating app, do I put that I'm a single dad?
I would.
No,
don't even get on the dating apps.
Throw your phone in the fucking dumper.
They're canceled.
I think that what you're going to want to do is, and I've given this advice all the time, every day of my life, but whatever your interests are, go to the location that's a circle around those interests. If you're into comic books, go to a comic book. If you're into movies, go to a movie.
Go to a comic book?
If you're into a hobby, go to that place. If you're into cooking, go to the grocery store and pick up a honey next to the lettuce. But I think that what you're going to want to do is go out into the world. And by the way, you're 32. First of all, another pro tip.
Yes.
I think that people who are looking for a partner for life may not find one. But if you were just looking to date, and you were looking to see and date different people and have different experiences and go on dates and enjoy things, you're probably going to be better off going into things as a casual. Sometimes it's too much pressure,
right?
To be like, I need this person to be perfect. Like, obviously you're a dad, so you don't have a ton of time to be like, whatever. But I think as casual as you can make it and the pressure you can take off yourself, I think it's going to go much better.
What I would do is like, maybe not put it in your profile and then just tell people first date, but just say that you're not looking for. I mean, you honestly, I'm pro full transparency too. I think you kind of have to play with that. But like, if you just want to play the field, that's one of the nice things about dating apps is that like you can just go on a date. Like you can match with someone, you can go on a date. Like there's you don't have to like go to a comic book store or whatever and like look for or whatever Miles just said is totally right. And I think it's maybe a better approach. But it's like if you just want the sensation of going on a date, like the dating app is going to get you there faster.
That's true. The sensation.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know that you need to disclose being a daddy on the dating app.
No, right. I think in person you do. But
in person you do. But I think that on the dating app you can just be like I'm 6'10", love to lift. And then people will be like, whoa, that guy's
Oh,
bulky.
that's very accurate. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then you're on the date and you're like, yeah, I'm a dad. I'm a dad. Like, because that's a part of your life.
Right.
It's not like the definition of everything about you.
Exactly. And I think that you have to tell people in a chill way where like Miles said, to take the pressure down, you're not necessarily saying, and I'm looking for someone to be, I think
To be my world.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you take the pressure down, but you talk earnestly and honestly about being a dad. And I think that people will actually find that appealing.
The long shot, do you have any unrequited love from high school?
Oh, wait. If we're going backwards, I do have somebody from like middle school, elementary school. Yes.
Yeah, see, there we go.
Yes.
What?
Rainie just solved
She
it.
did, yes.
The love of your life.
Like I say, what's she up to?
Yeah, what's going on with her? Like, what's her deal?
I don't know. It's been a minute. I just remember we were at like recess one day. She gave me a Valentine. We dated for a while.
Wow.
But then she left me for this other guy in my class. And again, 32-year-old, and I'm still not over it. So maybe I should look her up.
Yeah. I think Rainie's really nailed into something important here. We've got to get you looking into your past.
Yeah, that's right. Look into your past, give her a call, and say, hey, whatever happened to us?
By the way, I'm a dad now. Let's
I'm a
hang.
dad now. Let's go to Chili's.
Yeah. Genius.
By the way, do you think that a date to Chili's now
That's
is
funny.
kind of cool and fun?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Chili's is fun.
God, I want to go to Chili's tonight.
Like, do you want to get like a pretty, like it's indulgent food?
Yeah.
Like it's big drinks.
Fritters.
It's like, yeah, like I think Chili's is one of the top level of that kind of chain restaurant.
Yeah.
So to me, a Chili's date that's sort of ironic, but then you go and you have a good time would be a really good time.
Like,
anyway,
let's go get drunk at Chili's.
Yeah.
Kind of great.
Yeah, I mean, again, there has to be an understanding that you don't like only want to go to Chili's, but you think it would be funny to do that.
Get out there and absolutely slam it. You're going to do great. And, say what up to your kids from us.
Thank you. I will. Yeah. They're awesome kids. Yeah, for sure. Definitely proud to be their dad. This isn't a thing where I kind of shame dad kids. I just need that confidence boost, as you guys said. So thank you. This was great advice. So much so that if I ever run into Dua Lipa, I'm trying to go talk to you guys ASAP.
Hashtag Dua perfect person. Dua Lee perfect person. So thank you so much for being on the hunt for Dua with us. Hashtag hunt for Dua. And we will talk to you later. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Anthony.
All right. Sounds good.
All right,
Thanks,
bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.
And just like that, the morale is up again. Well, Rainie, sometimes I like to just put a quarter in your jukebox and just see what's going on because something funny always comes out.
Oh.
What is a problem that you're dealing with recently that you would like us to solve right now?
Okay, here's what I've been thinking about recently. I think, so in college, I was always like, I want a fuckboy with a heart of gold, which doesn't exist, is what I found. But now I've gone on a few dates with people where I'm like, I think you were a fuckboy in college. And now they're kind of sad vibes.
Reformed.
Well, yeah, kind of reformed, but ultimately they're like, can't connect.
Yeah.
And I think that... So
you want someone more emotionally open, it sounds like. But you want them to be hot and like a fuckboy kind of.
Exactly. I want like them to be as hot as a fuckboy, but I also want them to be really smart and successful. But I've just been sort of thinking, what I wish I could tell my younger self is like, wow, those guys are going to be lame-os soon. And they're going to be begging, pestering for your attention because they're desperate for like any kind of human connection.
Yeah. Now, that's interesting. You're sort of an anthropologist.
Yeah.
But you're looking into the fuckboy ways.
Right. I mean, truly, fuckboy is one of my favorite academic subjects.
It is.
Were you a fuckboy?
I don't know.
I don't think you were.
I don't think I was. I
You
definitely
can be slutty without being a fuckboy.
I definitely dated around.
And did they always know that you were dating other people?
I never like, I've only had like maybe 4, I guess since like high school, maybe 5 like girlfriends.
Okay.
That were like, this is my capital G girlfriend.
Yeah.
And one of them was my wife. But like I dated many people in between that was like, we're like dating.
Has anyone ever yelled at you in an intermission of a show?
What does that mean?
Like, have you made anybody mad enough where they sort of got up in the middle of a show and were like, hey, can I talk to you?
What type of show?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like sort of a
Like
dance
this feels like
performance.
This is like a really specific
moment that you have.
Yeah.
What do you mean the middle of a show? Like in the middle of like I'm seeing the ballet and they're like, "Can I talk to you for a second?"
Yeah. Well, I did that, unfortunately.
You yelled at somebody?
Yeah, in the intermission.
What happened?
Well, okay, so this is what happened.
Yeah.
I was friends with this guy who now works at the New York Times crossword, which is like a really cool job, unfortunately. Yeah. But I actually really liked him. He was like, I was friends with him. Like I had breakfast with him like every morning for a year. Because we just ate breakfast at the same time, but I would consider us friends. And so then one time at Fall Gala,
This is college?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were dancing. I spun him around. He spins me around.
Whoa.
And then he kisses me.
Magical.
I know. It was really cute. And then we hooked up like 3 times, I think. And then off the face of the planet. Just
He
never
ghosted you?
Yeah. And I think
After having breakfast with you every day?
Yeah.
That's really
Unacceptable.
weird.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah. I agree.
However,
Okay.
I do think that
You've done that.
I haven't done that.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that. Like because that sounds like also it was a person in your friend group.
Yeah.
I found that sometimes I would get into trouble because I would be dating people. And to me, if you have not had the conversation, and I've learned since the errors of my ways, but back then I especially believed if you have not had the conversation of exclusivity, it is to be assumed that you are not exclusive. And I have recently learned that you can be more empathetic than that to people because it's like you can kind of tell when someone is wanting more.
You can tell.
Oh, yeah.
You can
And
always
I
tell.
think now my stance is you have to address it.
Yeah.
Because you're then just hurting the person. And like, so, even the person might even just be like, well, I just don't want to, like, I can't wait.
Right.
It's just like, no, you have to be nice to people. And part of being nice is like being honest about, if you feel an imbalance, you have to be honest about that. Especially if you're the person who's like clearly dating more people and then,
Yeah, and I would even argue that the most ethical thing to do is to just address it before you even, you maybe you smooch a little, but then you pull back, you put your clothes on and you say, well, maybe don't put them on, but you just say, look, I'm only interested in X. If you know that, if you know going in, I only want to date you casually, you got to say it before you kissed for the 10th time.
You know what I'll say? Let's all share a story where we were in the wrong.
Okay.
Because I think
I've got lots of these.
Because I feel like I've learned a lot as a human being, especially when you're in college, you're dating around.
Yeah.
It's important for people to know that mistakes can be made, right? And I'll go first. Because I have one in particular that I still feel a little guilty about. And it's again, like, I think that it was just a lack of communication that really got it. I was kind of seeing this girl, right? We're dating casually. Like we'd been on like a couple dates and we're not even like to the point where we're like sleeping together or anything like that. We've been on a couple dates. We had like hooked up, a couple times and it was all very casual. And I was also casually dating someone else. And I was at a party and
they were both there.
But I didn't know that this other girl that I was dating that was kind of more into me than I was into her at the time, I didn't know that she was there. Man, if she's listening to this, I'm sorry. I didn't know. She happened to be walking into the party as I was in that party making out with this other girl. She thought that we were exclusive. We had never talked about this. And I felt very guilty. Didn't know till the next day. She calls me and says, like, I need to talk to you. I'm like, it was a really horrible, horrible night, all this stuff. And I felt so bad because I was like, and that to me was like a switch flipped. And I was like, oh, it doesn't matter whether or not we've talked. Like, I think that sometimes in relationships when you're young, you're like, well, she has no right to be mad because like whatever. And it's like, oh, well, but if someone is upset by something, it actually doesn't matter whether they or not they have a right to be upset by that thing. They are. So like you have to address that there. And if you're being empathetic, then generally like you don't have to be like, I've done everything wrong, but you can still be like, I wish I had done this differently.
Yeah. And did you say that on the call? Like, did you apologize or were you like, it's fine. We didn't have the conversation.
I didn't approach it madly.
Okay.
I was like, I feel really bad. I'm dating other people. Like we didn't have that conversation.
Yeah.
And I I'm sorry. Like I didn't know, especially because like I didn't know she was gonna be there, right? Like,
right. You were certainly not trying to like rub it in her face.
The worst version of that, like really confronted with like, oh, this is this miscommunication, and it's like right in your face.
Yeah.
So, but that, and I was probably a sophomore in college,
but
I
mean,
like just like too young to really know better.
I totally feel like you didn't do anything wrong, but it's good that you weren't like defensive about it. And, you know, like obviously she had a bad night. I'm sure she doesn't cry herself to sleep about
There's no way she thinks about me ever now.
Right.
She's doing great.
You were a blip in the road. You were just some guy.
Course.
And that's the thing. Like, I think you do have to strive for, if you are dating multiple people, tell the partners, like have a conversation. Like, I just can't emphasize this enough. Like, you need to fucking talk about it.
Because by the way, after like date 3 or something, it's okay to be like, hey, I'm having a ton of fun. I'm not looking for something more than just hanging out with you, but I really enjoy this.
Yeah.
And if that's not okay with them, then you have to be like, you can't just be eating your cake and be like, no one gets to have any other cake, and I'm loving having my cake.
Exactly. And the earlier you say it, like nobody's in love with the other person on the first date. They're not really going to care that much. So it's not going to be that bad if you tell
it's more disappointing for them, if, you know, but again, I think there's also a myth that like women in general like can't have casual sex, that like every woman is out to like get married, and I don't think that's true. And
no, I definitely not.
The only way you can, and this is for all the men listeners, shout out, I don't think there's a lot of them.
I don't think there's a lot of them, but we stand.
There's a assumption for a lot of men that like every woman's trying to get wifed up, and you that's not true. Like the way you have to talk about it though. Like you can't just go along with it until they're like, hey.
Right.
And it's like that you're setting yourself
Feelings
up.
Get hurt too. It's also like maybe, you know, and I think also like that was one of like several situations where then my female friends who were mutuals were like, hey, come on. Like you probably knew that she was more into you than you were into her.
Right.
You have to just be open with this stuff. Even if it's like legally in the court of relationships.
Legally,
you don't like
you will be acquitted.
We didn't have the conversation, Your Honor. Therefore, I get to kiss whomever.
Miles has crossed his legs very dramatically, sort of like Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct.
Yeah, exactly like Sharon Stone. I'm not wearing any panties. That's what that movie's about, Will. That's when she crosses her legs.
I know, but you don't normally wear pants.
You're a little pervert. So anyway, that was my wrongdoing.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear, I actually feel like Will's is going to be really bad. So I want to hear, Rainie, I'd love to hear your wrongdoing of the week.
Okay. So my wrongdoing, so this is something that I have thought about. Sometimes I'm like, should I text this guy and just sort of like be like, hey, sorry. So I was a late bloomer. So I had my first kiss when I was 18, freshman year in college.
Sure.
And it was with this guy. And you'll bleep the name, but then keep the nickname.
Don't say the name then.
Okay.
If we're bleeping the name, don't say the name. Because I might forget or something.
So his nickname was Erection.
Off to a bad start. Sorry, why? Oh, well, now I have to bleep it. But
anyway, you can bleep the whole. You can cut the whole story.
You can cut me throughout the episode if I all I care. His name was. It sounded almost like Erection.
Yeah, exactly. And so so it's February freshman year. I get a group me DM, and he's like, "Hey, like, what are you doing this tonight?" And I was like, I don't know, nothing.
I don't know nothing.
What are you? And so he invited me to his frat party. He had just got recently indoctrinated into
indoctrinated
into a frat. It's like indoctrinated into a cult. I mean, it is kind of like that.
It kind of is. To his frat party. So I was like, okay, we drink Malibu in my dorm room. Yeah, first. Then we go to the frat party. I'm the only girl there. They weren't supposed to bring dates to this one. So that was tough.
Oh, it was supposed to be dudes only.
Yeah, it was supposed to be brothers only.
Brothers only.
But then later the girls came.
Are you a brother?
And then, so then we were just talking blah, blah, blah. And then we were in an empty frat room and then he kissed me. And then I was like, interesting. Cause you don't know. You don't know until you know. So that was sort of enlightening, I would say. And then, went home. That was it. And then he kept texting me and kept inviting me to the frat parties again. And I was just like, I don't really want to go to your frat parties. Like,
that was a no-go.
Yeah. So, but he sort of, I kept saying no, but it was kind of confusing because like there was always a real reason that I didn't go. So he kept texting me. And then eventually I was telling my friend about it. Shout out Tom, one of my best friends. And he was like, let me see your phone. And he says, no thanks, bud. He shows it to me. He's like, good to send. And I was like, yeah, go ahead.
So you feel bad about texting him no thanks, bud?
Yeah.
It's very college to me.
Very college, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I was like, oh, he was actually like pretty hot. He was the fastest boy in New York City. Except then I looked up his stats and he was actually the second fastest. But he told me he was the fastest boy.
What does that mean? What does
he
that mean?
won the regionals for New York.
To be the fastest boy in New York City?
Well, that's a competition that we don't talk about enough. So
Yeah.
there's the New York Marathon. You know about that.
Yeah.
There's actually a separate competition called Fastest Boy in New York City.
Yeah, they send 10 teenage boys down the New York City subway to race the J train. That's crazy.
And it's a big honor to win.
You snubbed the fastest boy in New York?
Yeah, and he was like pretty hot, honestly.
And I guess so the regret there, this is not even that bad, Rainie.
Yeah.
This is like I shared like a woe, a tale of woe, a tale of I hurt someone's feelings accidentally. And you're like, I texted a boy who was bothering me not to do that.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I think I just regret, like I was like, I should have sort of, because I think if I had been free the first time, I would have gone and then maybe it would have been good, you know? It would have been fruitful. Maybe I would have been married.
Did he text back?
He said, okay.
Yikes.
That's
tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Will, let's finish it off with a real rough story about you.
So I certainly have a number of these. I think that as I've gotten older, I think that the communication around this kind of thing is difficult and it's something that you have to learn how to do. And I think that you're not born knowing how to emotionally communicate correctly. And yeah, the one that comes to mind, and this is unfortunately a little more recent than I'd like to admit.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, but the one that was top of mind for me is that in 2020, I met somebody on Tinder who lived 4 blocks from me. And
Convenient.
I was going over to her place all the time and having a great time. And I was I try to be pretty clear in the beginning, like, I only want a casual thing from this.
Yeah.
But she really liked me and clearly wanted more. And we talked about it. But then there was a point where like, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore because you're the only person I'm seeing indoors. Everyone else is on Zoom. I'm seeing you and I don't even like you that much.
You said this?
No. That was all in my head. That's all my internal monologue.
Got it.
But then
like,
it took me like 3 weeks to text her and tell her that. Obviously, she'd gotten the message before that, but I just think that's really shitty. Like, I could have just said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not interested." End of the story. But and I'm not saying she was like crying herself to sleep or whatever, but I know that she really liked me, and I just should have been more like respectful in that moment.
I think also like you can't enter the dating field without some risk of getting hurt. So they kind of signed up when they took you on a first date, you know? So like it feels bad, but it's also like,
unfortunately, everyone's feelings are at risk.
Oh, you got to feel bad so you can feel good one day.
That's great.
Is that great? That's sad.
very wise.
If there were no storms, there would be no plants.
No rain, no rainbows.
That's right. Damn right.
God.
You gotta have a bad to get to that good.
I don't think that's true.
You gotta have the sour to get to the sweet. But I will say on ghosting, I think that ghosting in the first parts of a relationship is fine and should be allowed and is a soft pass.
Like you go on one date with someone from a dating app and they text you.
Ghost
do you owe them a text message saying, well, I mean, honestly, it's more polite to just say, hey, I wasn't feeling it. But if you don't want to do that, they'll get the message. You don't respond within 24 hours saying,
fine.
yeah, let's hang out again. They know, oh, we're done, right?
We're done,
yeah.
Like the message is getting conveyed.
I agree. All right, we're going to do a voicemail before we get to the Getting Real segment. Obviously, people send us voicemails, 424-284-9614. You can call at any time, and we encourage you to. So let's listen to this voicemail from Eliza.
Hello, my name is Eliza, and I have recently moved to the Midwest for vet school, and I am wondering how to find a balance between, work and life. So finding a balance between, you know, schoolwork and exploring my new home has definitely been an adjustment. So any advice you have on that would be phenomenal. Thank you.
So I was going to say, yeah, you moved to a new place. You're trying to do a work-life balance thing. Rainie, you just moved to LA sort of recently.
Yeah.
You uprooted your life.
Yeah.
To move across the country, and you didn't really know anybody.
It was
here.
wild. I mean, what I'll say is I still spend tons and tons and tons of time on the phone.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think because I went from Denver to Boston for college, I was sort of practiced in that. And I've noticed that my new roommate is not on the phone very much, but he went to college. He's from a little town in Massachusetts, went to college in Boston, and then went to Rhode Island. And I'm waiting for him to discover the beauties of the phone call.
Do you feel like, and maybe I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Okay.
Do you feel like you being on the phone so much is preventing you from creating lasting relationships in Los Angeles?
Oh yeah, probably. I'm assuming.
Well, it's like you were like, he's not on the phone as much. Is he going out and talking to people in real life, or is he just sort of not?
No, he is going. I mean, well, so he's using sort of dating apps as a method to get friends. Yeah, so you know that's it's slash a boyfriend, I think, or hookups, but yeah, I don't know. I think I also like very much value long-term friendships. Like my friends who I've been friends with since elementary school, I'm like, I really, really care about that, about maintaining that.
Really?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like, yeah. So, I mean, is it? Yeah, probably. Cause it's sort of like, oh, I'm not really that lonely because I'm talking to people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's not the same at all as being like IRL.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, I think I'm only friends with like one person from K through 12 still.
Really?
Like I am like cool with a lot of people that if I go back to North Carolina, I'd be like, hey, like let's hang out. But I'm not communicating with on a daily basis with anybody except for like people I met college and post. Yeah.
And I mean, I guess I only have like one friend from elementary, one friend from middle, and two from high school. And then like 3 from college, and my sister and my mom. So, but I think like most of my I definitely have like 8-year relationships plus is like where I want to be. But yeah, I would just say don't sleep on phone calls.
100%.
Because if you need to feel known,
I completely agree. I think if you're feeling lonely, like when I was first graduating from college, I moved to Austin and didn't know anybody other than one friend, and I was just. I was spending a ton of time on the phone with my close friends from college. And now I'm really bad about communicating with my close friends because I've made more of a life for myself. I think that it is genuinely hard. And I think it takes minimum 6 months in a new place to feel even remotely settled. 6 months before you even feel like I might have a friend, you know?
100%. And by the way, I feel like the first couple times you hang out with a new friend, it's not seamless.
Right.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It takes, I think that was a problem for me when I first moved to LA, being like, oh man, like I am having these friends and I'm meeting these people that I really like, but it's like, they're not like my college friends, or like they're not like my friends from New York, but it's like that's not a fair comparison. You have to spend a long time, and then you eventually get to the point 100%. Where like
I couldn't agree more with this. I feel like I've gone to cities and been like, well, I don't have this close relationship that I used to have.
Yeah,
and it's really making me feel bad.
Right.
But it's like, no, but that actually takes time. That wasn't like I was instantly close to everyone in college either, you know? So
yeah. I also think it's definitely lean into feeling lonely. Like it's okay to, you don't have to feel bad about being alone, you know? Like you can just feel alone and have that just be a bad 6 months, you know?
And if you're a person who, like if you thrive on being busy and you just throw yourself into your work, I think work-life balance is kind of always hard though. Even if you do, it's not a new city and it's always going to be a little bit of a struggle to balance getting that cash.
Gotta get that money.
And like actually living your life.
Yeah.
And you know, I made a ton of friends by doing improv. Honestly, probably more friends than anything else. Like everything else is like, improv is just such a fucking
I mean, my fucking boys, like my core boys, are all people I do improv with.
Right, exactly. And I think that that activities can bond you together. And if you have a hobby like that, you instantly can be in a community of people, which is really great. Even if the improv community has some annoying things about it.
Sure, yeah, of course. I mean, I don't even do that much improv anymore, but that's where I found all those people.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll also say a thing about work-life balance I think is really important. Make plans.
Oh yeah,
be proactive.
Be proactive. Yeah. Be like
100%.
Thursday, I'm gonna go do this thing.
Yeah, and it could just be by yourself.
It could be by yourself, but like if you make a plan that you're going to the yarn store on Thursday, then throughout the week you're getting the yarn community on your side. So that way by Thursday, you've got a whole squad rolling deep to the yarn action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Or I think actually a really good activity that I've been doing recently with my friend John. Shout out.
Huge shout out.
My buddy John. We go get a green juice. Nights where the base thing would be to go get a drink. Like, let's get a drink together. Let's go to a bar, get a drink. Instead of doing that, we'll go like to Lassen's, which is an organic grocery store, and just walk around looking at the juices and doing bits. And then we'll get a juice that's stinky. We have rules for how to do it, but it's just having an activity like that that is, I guess, kind of doing something healthy, but also just it's an activity that you're planning, that you're going to go do, you can get excited about.
Well, that's the thing is like having a plan means you have something to look forward to. And I think that people are often reluctant to like go to the movies by themselves or like, but like that's fun, you know?
Right.
Like even if you don't have the network of friends you want to yet and the support community yet, like you can still make a plan and you can still be like, I know I'm working a crazy 5 days, but I'm going to go to the aquarium. Yeah. And you know what? The aquarium is going to be sick, even if no one's with you.
It's going to be sick as hell, dude.
But for me, like my favorite activity is just chatting. That's all I ever really want to do.
Yeah.
Like I'll do an activity, but I mostly just want to chat.
A bar with loud music?
Ooh,
no, thank you.
Too loud.
Yeah. I want the bar to be quiet music so I can do bits.
Yeah. And I don't want to have to scream. And if I'm screaming something really stupid, it's like, and then I have to repeat it 4 times before you hear it and then you don't laugh.
No way.
Oh my God. What a nightmare.
Yeah. Work-life balance, more like life-work balance. Because you put the important shit first.
True.
You know what I mean? Anyway, we've gotten to the end of the show here. Rainie, you've been a fantastic guest.
Thank you.
And has the show lived up to your expectations of what it would be like? What did you think the show would be, and then what did you experience?
Oh my gosh, of course, everything and more. If you have a dream of being a perfect person, keep on dreaming. That's a good dream to have.
That brings us to sort of a real place. And we're going to end this episode with a segment that we like to call Get Real.
Oh, and it's all queued up. I have a Get Real for you. Did you plan something though?
I'd like to hear yours. I'm more interested in hearing yours.
Okay, because, well, it is real though.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the first episode, you talked about grief.
Yeah.
And how you're well-versed.
Yes.
And I want to hear about that specifically from you because you're funny. And I think like grief is, I think, the worst thing about life.
Sure. Now, I will probably do a full episode about this at some point because I think about it a lot. But when I was about 17, what a reversal, by the way. Uno trump card. I'm answering the Get Real. When I was 17, my brother died, and it was horrible, obviously. And I kind of got into a place where I think that grief for a lot of people, they flip a coin and it's either going to affect their life in a way where they don't believe in anything anymore because it's shattering to realize that life is so fragile. And I instead was sort of like, I have the opportunity and the health to be able to live exuberantly and brightly and to be able to do all these different things. And my brother didn't have that opportunity. My brother was, he had cancer when he was 6 years old. And then it went into remission until he was about 22, and then he died. And so I was always sort of like, hitting the button again. I was always sort of like, I'm here, and you never know what's going to happen. And COVID was another reminder of that. COVID fucking came, people died. Like, you just have no idea what's gonna happen. I had a friend in college who was hit by a train and died. Like, I've had friends and loved ones go through just insane, unbelievable circumstances that led to their deaths. And to me, that opens me up to be like, there's no reason to be worried about going and trying out for the improv team or doing whatever. There's no reason to be worried about moving to Los Angeles and trying to do something creative. Like, any worry you have, you could be struck by some sort of sudden, unexpected nightmare, whether you're at home working at 7-Eleven, whether you're doing whatever. So I just sort of always chose to be like, I want to seize everything that I possibly can.
Yeah.
And live that way.
What were some of the strategies? Did you try other strategies that didn't work to deal with grief?
Yeah, sure. Like, being angry didn't really help. But like, you kind of have to be at a certain point. Not telling anyone didn't help. I didn't actually tell. I didn't actually wrong button. When I first went to college, I didn't tell anybody. And my orientation was the day after my brother died for college orientation. So I went to college orientation and I walked in and the woman was like, "You have such a nice smile." And I was like, I feel totally nothing. Because it was just horrible. Like, my brother just died. So I didn't tell anybody until I was on an improv team. And a friend of mine who I went to college with, and I always have wondered if she knew this. She like knew somebody that I went to high school with, and I'm wondering if they told her that my brother had died, because we were at a group setting. We're all sitting around, and I had told nobody, including two of like my best friends all throughout college. This was like in November of first semester. They didn't know. And so then we're sitting around doing like, tell your life in 2 minutes so we can all get to know each other. And after I did it, then people would ask questions. And I was like, yeah, that's my life. And she just looked at me and was like, do you have any siblings? And I always wondered if she knew that I had purposely avoided this like wild life-altering event in my 2-minute life thing. And so I was like, yeah, I do. I have a brother, but he died. She was like, when did he die? And I was like, 4 months ago. So like, but I had never told anybody. And so it really freed me a little bit, because I think I just didn't want to make people uncomfortable. So yeah, that didn't work. I don't talk about it often. And I was wanting to, I was like, I want to do something about it. I also I'm going to try to like make YouTube videos, I think, in the studio. And that was one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to make a video called "My Brother Died and It Made Me Funny." Like, I think that's kind of the Jeanette McCurdy book. Oh yeah, I'm Glad My Mom Died. Yeah, that's such a fucking grabby title, and it really is good. Yeah. And apparently the book is really intense. Yeah, but I was like, that's a good title. It gets people in the door.
I love your title. Your titles are flames. You have a bunch of them.
Cockblocked by My Dog, huge for me.
Did that do well?
It did. Yeah. They're all doing well, baby. And by the way, we got some fun stuff coming down the pipe. All you perfect people out there. Rainie, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really do appreciate it. And I love, I'm not sure how I will use that last part of the show. I'll probably use some of it, and then maybe I'll put in a video. I don't know. I'll use something different, but that's great.
I would also like to just say to the fans, we love you.
We love you, buds.
But also, if you, like me, have Miles's fire rap in your head about
mom, me and your mom with a little bath bomb.
Yeah. I'm interested in hearing a remix, seeing a video. If any fan is interested, they can send it to the newly created social handles for Perfect Person. There's an Instagram handle. I'm not sure there's a Twitter.
No, there's an Instagram and a TikTok for Perfect Person at Perfect Person Pod.
I want to hear fans like the stupidest rap ever.
The corn guy, whoever did the corn guy, needs to do your rap.
Yeah, if Corn Man can do me and your mom in a little bath bomb,
yes,
I would be truly honored.
Honestly.
Rainie, where can people find you?
Well, currently it's Raining Toll, but I'm going to maybe change it to Boots on the Ground.
Honestly,
so we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Raining Toll, and Twitter, Rainie Toll. I'm trying to be a little influencer, but I do. You know what? Actually, I'm not even going to say that, because I got to put in the work before I even claim that energy.
And you can follow me at WWhit, where I do not post. I am not interested.
Get ready for Will's big post.
It's coming in a couple weeks.
December 1.
Is it? Wait,
Will's going to post. There's been a couple fire Instagram posts that I've taken for you.
That's true. Almost, I'd say almost all of my recent Instagram pictures are pictures you took of me.
Yeah. So.
But look out for it. The post is coming down the pike.
December 1, man. Look out for it. Everybody, thanks for listening so much. And until next time, go out and get it. We're trying out new catchphrases.
Okay, that one we can workshop it.